15 kinds of emotions you can feel, but are hard to explain. Have you ever felt emotion, but you cannot make sense of it? Emotion is a wonderful thing. It's what makes us human. Unlike robots, humans feel emotions. Some of them are easily identified, such as feeling happy, sad, or angry. However, some kinds of emotions are hard to explain because of their complexity. Here are 15 kinds of emotions you can feel, but are hard to explain. 1. Ellipsism. Ellipsism is an emotion that rises when you have a desire to understand the world. This emotion is often intense amongst the world seekers and explorers. Yet, they hardly recognise this feeling actually has a name. If you have an intense curiosity and want to foresee the future and all the phenomena it will bring, you may likely experience ellipsism. 2. Gnossienne. Gnossienne is one of the kinds of emotions that surface when you feel like you've known someone for years, but later you discover that person is different from what you've already known. This revelation leads to mixed feelings in which you are often not able to describe. There is a mix of disappointment and surprise to know the different truths about someone. That is what is defined as Gnossienne. 3. Onism. Onism is a feeling where we realise that there are many experiences and places that we may not be able to see before we die. It is a revelation that while the world appears small, there are too many things in which our eyes cannot see. This left us feeling wistful and sentimental at the same time. The ones who usually feel this are travellers and adventurers. 4. Jalska. Jalska is among kinds of emotions when you want to tell someone something but are unable to do so. This comes from a desire to have a conversation with someone and to have closure for a conflict or problem that is yet to be resolved. You start making up a conversation in your head as you experience Jalska. 5. Nighthawk. Nighthawk is a feeling that makes you unable to sleep at night. If you have insomnia, this feeling can be the reason. Nighthawk appears when you have some unresolved business, undisclosed situation or anxiety in which you try to sweep away but your subconscious still wants to think it over. People who sleep late or feel unrested even after sleeping may experience this feeling. 6. Sonder. Have you ever walked on the street and started seeing people not by their faces, but by what may be hidden underneath? Sonder is one of the kinds of emotion combinations of wonder and sober. You are aware that people have complex lives. They may not be as simple as they seem to be, but you wonder what kind of life the people are going through. This feeling often occurs at highly observant people. 7. Klexos. Klexos is an emotion that occurs when you recall the past. Remembering events and memorable memories from the past often gives certain, inexplicable feelings. The feelings rise because your heart responds differently to the feelings that occurred when the memories were created. Klexos is associated with the sentimental muse of the past. It can relieve both good and bad impressions. 8. Liberosis. There is a saying that to care less about people is an art itself. While being caring is a virtue, it often leads to people being pushed over and taken for granted. When people are fed up with this situation, a feeling of liberosis arises. It is an urge not to care too much about people and things in general. These kind of emotions are pretty usual during burnout. 9. Cubicle. If you watch bad news or experience violence, there is a feeling of exhaustion both mentally and physically. Your body feels numb and you cannot express your feelings. This state is called cubicle. Cubicle is a devastating feeling caused by too many negative things happening around. Highly sensitive people often experience this, especially when they get burnout or just go into an unpleasant situation. 10. Chrysalism. Some people feel secure when they're at home. This feeling amplifies when they have safe shelter from the storm or rain outside. The sound of wind and water is strangely calming. You begin to feel more relaxed and at ease as you wrap yourself in a blanket and lulled by the sound of the rain. Chrysalism is one of the kinds of emotions that describes the exact feeling associated with storm or rain. It is a feeling of calmness and comfort during a storm. 11. Ellipsism. Ellipsism is a feeling of restlessness caused by not being able to do anything during a sickness period. When you get sick and under the weather, the body that has been used with your daily habits starts to feel restless. When you want to do so much, but you need to stay inside and recover from your illness. If you experience the feeling of being helpless over an illness while you are usually an active person, you will likely feel this ellipsism emotion. 12. Presque-vous. One of the kinds of emotions where people almost remember something, but they cannot exactly recall the memories, is called presque-vous. Presque-vous often occurs when the brain tries to remember something or gets triggered by an object that is associated with a certain event. However, your brain cannot exactly recall the memories in detail. All you feel is a faint feeling that the experience is real and you believe you will be able to remember it at another time. 13. Lonesome-Fret. A person who cannot leave the house for some reason is likely feeling lonesome-fret. Lonesome-fret is one of the kinds of emotions where people have been alone for too long and start craving for human interaction. For some people, solitude is bliss. There is no denying that some people are successful recluses. However, since humans are social beings, they will eventually want to connect with another of their own species. 14. Huckmuck. Some people are irked when they see stuff not placed in the right place. For example, you're used to putting a vase on the right corner, but someone puts it on the left corner. When you see the vase in an unusual place, you feel huckmuck. Huckmuck in general is a feeling when you are uncomfortable with seeing things not in their usual place. These kinds of emotions are familiar ones amongst those who suffer from obsessive-compulsive disorder. 15. Misslieness. Do you miss someone? If so, you are feeling misslieness. Misslieness is a combination of missing someone that creates loneliness. This is a more specific term for an emotion triggered by a longing for someone to the point you need that person to feel existed again. Misslieness often occurs with a slight heaviness in the chest as you keep missing the person who is not beside you. Conclusion. There are many kinds of emotions that are not as known as other emotions. However, some of the emotions actually have terms coined to them already. Those terms can help you understand and process your emotions better. Do you ever experience something like this? Share in the comments section below, and thanks for watching.